We're here with head coach Mike Heimerman of the track team. Now that indoor is behind you, you get outdoor season. For that, how are you kind of feeling after the nice long break? It was early March when you had indoor, and now we're March 22nd is when you start outdoor play. But how how's this little break? You getting nice and get a little bit healthier.
Well, it was a short break. We had almost 3 full weeks. Coaching staff has been out recruiting almost every day that we could. We had a few days that there was a dead period that we couldn't, but coaches have been grinding on recruiting and hosting some athletes, trying to bring in that next class. But with the athletes, they did get a few days off, and then we brought them back and started training again. And, it's been kind of nice because now, we don't have to worry about going to a specific track because that's what we run on. We run on a flat 400-meter track everywhere we go, and that's what we have right here to my left. So, so it makes it really nice that this is what we train on every day. That's what we'll see every weekend.
And going back to the indoor season, but your relay teams, going back to as far as we can remember, have been really good. They both won gold at the conference meet. What do you say is kind of the keys to a terrific relay team?
Well, first of all, you got to give all that credit to Coach Adam Pennington, my associate head coach. He's the talent behind all that. Since he's been here, I think the women have only maybe lost one 4x4 indoor and maybe one outdoor in his 10 years. Men have been really, really good, but this was the first time, I think this is the first time that we swept both 4x4s at the indoor conference meet. But, you just got to have kids that believe in the system and believe in the process, and that's what they do with Coach Pennington. All those kids believe. They'll run through a wall for that man. And, they just went out there and they give it their all, and that's all we ask. We preach about, trusting the process and giving 100%, and that's what those young men and women do every week is give us everything they got. And that's the biggest thing is they go out there and give it 100%, and usually good things happen.
Going to Adam, he was just announced as the assistant coach, South Central assistant coach of the year. I mean, that's second time in 2 or 3 years, I believe, for him. I mean, what can you say about him and his impact he's had?
Well, that's back-to-back years, I think. He won it last year and he won it again this year, and that's all schools in the South Central region. So that's your Texas A&M's, LSU's, Arkansas, schools to that nature. So that's a huge accomplishment for him, and that just speaks volume on what that's an award voted on by our peers, other coaches in this area. So. It just shows that everybody's paying attention on what he does. Since he's been here, he's probably been the most dominant sprints coach that Northwestern State and just about the Southland Conference has ever seen. He holds every school record at Northwestern State from the 400 down, all the relays except one, but I think that one might go this year. And then his athletes have broken many of the conference records. So it's just he's very, very diligent. He loves winning. He wants to see the best out of the kids, and that's something that a lot of coaches say and they preach, but he lives, eats, and sleeps it. And it's just a testament on how he wants to be that good, and he wants his athletes to be that good too. So we're very, very fortunate to have him here at Northwestern State, and I'm very fortunate to have him as an assistant or associate head and as a really, really good friend.
And you mentioned recruiting earlier. The freshmen really stood out to you at the indoor meet. One of your throwers, Raya Dates, had a really good performance, and then Bruce, Will, and Roy on the men's side. I mean, what has stood out to you about this collection of freshmen?
Well, it speaks volumes on the assistant coaches that brought them in, and having an eye for talent and looking at. And some of that, has been a little developmental. Roy is a really good athlete out of high school, and he's going to be an exceptional athlete here. And Bruce just has the guts and determination, and his brother was really, really good decathlete for a Division I school, and Bruce is going to follow in that same footsteps. Raya, is a special thing. She wasn't much out of high school, but she's come on, and now she could be one of the best throwers that's ever walked through Northwestern State's doors. And then, you left one out, little Jayla Mason in the 400. She's overshadowed. She's probably one of the fastest freshmen we've ever had in the 400, but yet she's setting number 5 on the depth chart. It's just that's how good the 400 group is here. But Jayla, watch out for Jayla. Keep an eye on her because she's going to be another special one down the road.
Yeah, that kind of leads me to my next question. Anybody really kind of catch your eye who I or you haven't mentioned?
Whew, I mean, there's a lot of them. I don't like singling out names because I always forget. But man, just about the entire women's team. We had a meeting Sunday night. We had a good day, first day. I kind of questioned some of the things because I thought we didn't perform quite or execute quite like we should have, and I fussed at them. I had a Rocky quote, or I quoted Rocky. And what's funny is Raya actually brought me a Rocky shirt, and she said, "Coach, I think we all got the message." And she got me the shirt just to say, message received and executed. So they went out there and they performed. So really, the entire women's team, I was very proud of, and just keep a lookout for them because they're just scratching the surface. Indoors is always a good season for us, but outdoors because we get to train on the track that we run on every weekend. And when I say that, it's a 400-meter track wherever we go. Indoor, we run on a 200-meter bank track at conference, and we don't have a 200-meter bank track, and we only get to see one if we go to those meets, and that's why we have to travel so far, is because there's only a few of them in the south region. So it's hard to execute what you need to do without practicing on it. So outdoor, I see some big things, and really track and field's an outdoor event. I mean, it's fun to be outside other than if it's cold and rainy, but right now it's just windy here the last few days, or this whole week it's been windy here in Natchitoches. But this is what track and field's all about, is outdoors, and it'll be fun because we had a few more good events for us, and it'll be a fun year, I hope.
Yeah, final question. What are you looking for this meet in your first outdoor meet of the year?
Just go out there and get some work in. We've been training really hard the last couple of weeks, and we're going to we're training through this, but we're going to try to go out there and have some fun, see where we're at so we can go back, and I'm not saying redo training plans, but tweak them maybe just after seeing where we're at. But it'll be fun to see a few events that we haven't got to see. Men's and women's 4x1, of course, javelin and discus are all events that those young men and women haven't been able to do yet because they're not indoor events. So it'll be fun to see those athletes. It'll be the first time that we'll have at least 7 new competitors for indoor, or from indoor to outdoor, with 6 javelin throwers and at least 1 or 2 discus throwers. So that's 8 kids that haven't got to compete yet this year that will have their first meet of the season. So it'll be fun to see where those guys are at, young men and women, and see how the 4x1s do.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.